Morning Edition, a strong charge to politicians across this country. Over 100 poachers on the way to the Capitol. And the blind leading a walk for a purpose.
It's a Tuesday. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Morning Edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. You are now looking at a live shot of our tower cam outside of our studios here on Rusty Bethel Drive. And today you can expect mostly sunny, hot and breezy conditions with a few passing showers which could impact your daily commute. Traffic reporter Sieska Adderley is standing by with what's happening on our streets.
Good Tuesday morning. This morning's traffic report, we're coming to you live just outside of the government high school. We are, in fact, in another school zone, but there's something special about this school zone as there is a particular area where you can pick up and drop off your school children. And here to tell us more about that and other traffic tips that we should be aware of on this Tuesday morning is Corporal Decore Barr from the Traffic Division. Good morning, Corporal Barr. How are you?
Good morning, Sieska. Good morning, Bombers.
Good. Now, Corporal Barr, we are in front of the government high school, which is in fact a school zone, but there's something special about this school zone. Do you want to tell us about that this morning?
Yes, the significance of the government high school, Yellow Elder Gardens, in the Yellow Elder Gardens area is that, like you said, there's a pick-up and drop-off area. What's so special about that is it allows us to safely pick up and drop off our kids without letting them off in the streets. Which is a dangerous to them and other road users, and it's also safe to, or it would prevent the hindrance or obstruction of the flow of traffic.
Okay, now we are in a school zone, so just a reminder what we need to know when traversing through the school zone.
The speed limits, that's very important. 15 miles per hour between 7:45 a.m. and 9 a.m. and 2:45 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Also, be mindful of pedestrian crossings and persons who, I guess, are crossing the street and not using the pedestrian crossing. We still would want to give special attention to those persons as well.
Okay, so apart from it being a school zone, it's also a busy thoroughfare. Are there any other traffic tips that you all want to leave with us this morning?
Yes, again, we always want to reiterate, try not to do anything else while operating a motor vehicle. Pay extreme attention to what's happening on the roads around you and drive to arrive alive.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's Corporal Decore Barr from the Traffic Division. That's traffic for now, but we'll be back in just a few minutes and you'll find out why, so stay tuned. Back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
See you soon, Sieska. And joining us live in studio on the Morning Edition is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean with our weather outlook. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. A pretty nice morning shaping up around the Capitol. We have just a few buildups offshore, and high pressure is in control of our weather. We also have this a load near the southeast Bahamas that's firing up some showers and thunderstorms from Crooked Island, Acklands, all the way down to the Turks and Caicos Island. And then there is this broad area of showers and thunderstorms associated with a tropical wave that's moving towards the west and should be moving into the Barbados area later on today in case you're traveling in that direction. Outside of our studios, partly cloudy, temperature 81 degrees, your relative humidity at 78%, easterly winds 9 miles per hour, your barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars, that's 30.07 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning, 80 degrees in Green Toll Key, Marshall, Babaca, also Freeport at 80 degrees, in the Berry Islands, 83 also in Alistown, Bimini, 82 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Neuter, Otterstown, Cat Island, Staniel Key in Exuma Chain, Kent Spay, St. Andrews, also at 82. Fresh Creek in Central Andrews, 83, 82 in San Salvador and Rum Key. We picking up 81 degrees in Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Ragged Island, Acklands at 80, Betsy Bay, Meguana, Matchitown, Nago, all at 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. Your boating forecast for today in the northwestern islands, easterly winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop in place. Low tide, well, that took place at 6:44 this morning. High tide will take place at 109 this afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, easterly winds as well, a little stronger, 15 to 20 knots. Wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. As a result, we have caution flags in place for your boaters in the central and southeast Bahamas. And that's going to do it for your first look at one of the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Now on to our top story this morning. Bishop of the Anglican Diocese of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, the Right Reverend Leish Boyd, says the quality of political dialogue in both the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands have been eroded. Bishop Boyd, who was addressing those attending the opening of the 115th Synod held at Christ Church Cathedral last evening, says a decline in political discourse is particularly the case here in the Bahamas, adding that politicians are viewed as role models. He says politics is not simply about promoting a partisan agenda, but promoting good for an entire country. The Anglican bishop also touched on a number of social issues relevant to the Bahamas, from the ailing Grand Bahamian economy, absentee fathers, new cell phone legislation, and crime. Immigration was also given focused attention. Now, according to the bishop, the process for citizenship is inefficient, and there must be a policy input from the executive level to make that process easier. In other news, the Department of Statistics revealed earlier this year that unemployment among young people between the ages of 15 to 24 in this country continued to be considerably higher than any other age group. Their unemployment rate increased from 22.1% in November 2017 to 24.1% in May 2018. Director of Labor John Pinder says a few training programs are now in the pipeline to get more young Bahamians off that unemployment line. Pinder indicated that some 300 Bahamians will be hired by several cruise lines, and the IMAX movie theater of JFK and Gladstone Road will also employ more young Bahamians.
So we start something called soft skills. And so once we start to give them training in soft skills, we believe that's going to prepare them for the workforce. There's a number of projects coming on stream that certainly will require the employment of young persons. Certainly the persons are recruiting persons to work on the cruise lines. There's 3 agencies that are licensed in the Bahamas with the rights to recruit persons to work on cruise lines.
Pinder agrees, though, that the hike in unemployment numbers among young Bahamians could contribute to an increase in crime.
The old people are always wise. They say they'll find things for idle hands to do. And so to some extent you have to link unemployment to increase in crime. If people are occupied on their jobs and they have meaningful things to do and a reasonable income, for the most part you find that they'll be less inclined to want to get involved in any criminal activities. And so it's important for us to continue to assist those young persons in particular.
Over 100 Dominican fishermen allegedly found poaching in Bahamian waters are now heading to the Defense Force base in Coral Harbor. The group is expected to arrive at 7:30 this morning. Officials say they were discovered on board 3 motherships near Key Lobos in the southern Bahamas on the weekend. During the attempted arrest, the Dominicans apparently opened fire on the approaching Defense Force boarding team while fleeing into Cuban waters. The Cuban Border Patrol apprehended the 124 crew members and turned them over to the Defense Force on Sunday morning. Veteran broadcaster and owner of Island FM, Sir Charles Carter, will be awarded the Etienne Dupuis Lifetime Achievement Award at this year's installment of the Bahamas Press Club Media Awards. Carter, who began his career here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, says he is delighted by the honor, particularly due to his appreciation of consuming news in all formats from broadcast to print, and urged journalists to use their talents to upgrade this country.
I like what has happened to our country in the sense of being able to get the scoop, being able to tell the story, and being able to get our country to appreciate that we are all trying to do the best we can. And if you don't do the best you can, they're going to knock you down. And if you do the best you could, they will help you up. And so I'm very pleased to be a part of this.
The awards ceremony will be held in the Governor's Ballroom at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel on November 10th. Royal Fidelity has come on as a sponsor for the Etienne Dupuche Lifetime Achievement Award. President of Royal Fidelity, Michael Anderson, says he has been a great admirer of Sir Charles and is honored to join the effort to recognize him and other media professionals.
We, like other companies in the market, are constantly involved with the press in one way or the getting news out to market, introducing new products and services, and the press has been great support to us as a company, and so it's nice to be able to recognize it and get back and to honest to recognize some of the people actually helping us out.
Stay close, we've got more news on the other side of the break. You're watching The Morning Edition.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
If you've been dreaming of a new kitchen, head to CBS Bahamas. Spend $50 or more during the CBS Bahamas Fall Fix-Up. And you could win Pratt & Lambert paint, Pro Craft cabinets, and Wilson Art countertops to transform your kitchen. Get everything you need to fix up for fall. And enter to win at CBS Bahamas Southwest Plaza, Carmichael Road.
Welcome back to The Morning Edition. It was an unusual gesture, but one with a strong purpose. The blind in our community led a walk from historic Rawson Square yesterday to Government House to mark White Cane Day. The event was part of activities marking the Blind Awareness Month. Minister of Social Services, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, who met with the group briefly, said he was moved by the positivity of members of the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind and Visually Impaired. He pledged the ministry's commitment to helping to make their lives easier. President of the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind and Visually Impaired, Desmond Brown, explains what White Cane Safety Day is all about and why they chose to carry out the demonstration.
The white cane is a symbol of blindness. It's also a tool for independence, navigation. And so what we are doing is to make sure the general public be aware of that there are blind persons in our community and that we use the white cane. And whenever you see someone with a white cane, that's a sign that he or she is blind and should be respected, because they do have a right to use the streets, not only to walk on the sidewalk, but also to given the opportunity to cross the streets safely.
It was an evening to enjoy the jazz stylings of singer Simone Bowe while raising money for a good cause. The Jenny Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group hosted the Pink Roses and Pearls Jazz Benefit Concert at the Hillside House and Gallery on Sunday evening. The event attracted those looking to enjoy a sophisticated evening out on the town. President Duquesa Dean talked about one of the reasons behind the special event.
Tonight we commemorate the one-year anniversary of her death, as well as host this event as a fundraiser to continue the work that we do in the community with cancer patients. So the group came about in 2012 when my mom created an environment for survivors to come into where they can have social refreshments, where they could be mentally stimulated, and where they can share best practices. And so they socialized quite a lot so that they can learn how to reacclimate to life after dealing with the disease.
Group members say support is vital for those battling cancer. Yolanda Heiler found a lump in her breast after doing a self-exam in December 2014 and was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer in February 2015. Another survivor, Helen Longley Forbes, was diagnosed with early stage breast cancer in 2009 while doing her routine mammogram. All of these women say the diagnosis does not have to be a death sentence and suggest anyone battling the disease to find a group like theirs.
I have phenomenal sisters in there who give you the support that you would need. When you cry, when I cry, they cry. If I'm happy, they're happy. And they gave me the hope to walk each day, knowing that I have support outside my bloodline to fight and to be strong.
I would advise persons who are faced with the challenge of being diagnosed with breast cancer to seek support from their family and a support group. It really helps you with your mindset of how to deal with the disease and also have a positive outlook. There is hope.
And if you are a pet owner and need your help to have your dog or cat spayed or neutered, then listen up. A special event with this purpose in mind will be mounted in the Mount Moriah constituency in the coming days. Sieska Adderley joins us live with organizers.
We are here outside of the government high school where our furry friends, cats and dogs, will be the focus of a very special event this weekend. But here to tell us more about it is the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames, who is also the Member of Parliament from Mount Moriah. Good morning, Minister Dames. How are you?
I'm wonderful. A pleasant good morning to you and a pleasant good morning to the residents of Mount Moriah and the Bahamas. It's such a pleasure to be here in Mount Moriah this morning with our friends from BARC, and I have just behind you Mr. Greg Cooper, who chairs the Mount Moriah Environmental Group, who is actually responsible for the program that we're about to put on this coming weekend.
So what is happening this weekend, Minister Dames?
Well, in partnership with BARC, we have our Spay and neuter program. Of course, as you would be aware, as you go throughout the island of New Providence, that we have a serious stray issue, and Mount Moriah is no different. And so as a part of our ongoing initiative, we have decided to introduce our Spay and neuter program. And what better partner to have than to have our friends from BARC, who have been excited about this from the beginning. And we're extremely pleased to be partnering with such an important group of persons who love animals dearly. And since we began engaging them on this program, they have been on the ground with our team, I mean, day and night, working to make it a success. So we're excited.
All right. Now, Minister Dames, as you said, you all are partnering with BARC. We're a very special organization. And here, also joining me live, is a volunteer, Lena. Good morning, Lena. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. So for those of us viewers who may not understand what it is that you all do at BARC, just first of all, tell us what it is that you do and the significance of partnering with the Mount Moriah constituency in this venture.
So at BARC, we're a nonprofit organization, so we solely run based on donations provided by all of our sponsorships, and we also are just run by volunteers only, and we primarily focus on, just like Mr. Dames had mentioned, the roaming and stray animals. We're trying to minimize the population as much as we can. So just like this weekend, we're going to be running a spay and neuter clinic at the government high school, and we also actually run an educational program for kids to teach them how to deal with stray animals, because we find a lot in the community that there are a lot of children that are being bit by dogs and they're very afraid. So recently, this past year, we've been really successful in teaching students about the animals and how to deal with them.
So how important is it to control this population?
Well, from what I've seen, it's extremely important. I've had a lot of people come to us and say how much of a difference we've made in the past couple of years that we've done it. We've done over, I think, 10,000 spay and neuters in the past since 2008 that we've been operating, and we hope to continue that and double that in the next coming years. And yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lena. And back to you, Mr. Dames. Just speak to me specifically about this weekend, the times, the details, and what you want your constituents and the general public to know.
Well, actually, the team has already hit the ground running. And this coming Friday, they will begin actually the trapping side of the process. But we'll get started in earnest here at the government high school, and I would would be remiss if I failed to extend our appreciation to Principal Wims for making this happen. GHS and the administration here have been fantastic with every program that we have put on and needed the assistance of the government high school. So we get started at 6 a.m. on Saturday. I'm correct, Greg? 6 a.m. and we go up to Sunday, and same time on Sunday. So we're gonna be working. And as I said before, we will have an experienced team of vets, as well as the team from BARC, who are very knowledgeable about this process, and we have to give them credit. These are persons who continue on a daily basis volunteering their time for something that's extremely important. And so wherever possible, I plead to residents of New Providence, the Commonwealth of Bahamas, as a matter of fact, to support BARC and to support initiatives such as this. It's extremely important. Too often we walk through our communities and we see strays all over the place, many in need of medical assistance, and we pretend as if all is okay, but it's not. I mean, and we have to, as a people, take more care and better care of our animals, and this is what we're trying to do here in the constituency of Mount Moriah. We were out on Saturday visiting with residents of Yellowell, and we were passing out actually leaflets, and it's amazing to see the amount of interest in Yellowelder, Millennium Gardens, and Stapleton Gardens, three very, very switched on communities who have embraced this tremendously. So we're excited, and this is one of many programs that we have currently ongoing. And as I said before, we have Mr. Cooper, who oversees our environmental team. And just recently, Mr. Cooper and his team in the environmental side carried out a massive cleanup campaign. And so, indiscriminate dumping, again, it's another serious problem that we have to contend with. The rodent infestation in the constituency, which is another problem that Mr. Cooper and his team will be addressing in a very meaningful way in the upcoming weeks. So, but this is the spade and neuter is what we're into this coming weekend, and we're excited. So we say to residents of Mount Moriah, please bring your pets out, your cats, your dogs. We're here. It's all volunteer, and so please come and give us some time as well. We'll be most appreciative of that as well. So to give us some time, and let's begin to clean up our constituency.
Thank you so much. That's Minister Dames. There's nothing much left for me to say. He said it all. Bring your furry friends this weekend here at the Government High School beginning at 6 a.m. And let's show some love to our furry little friends. Back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Siaska. Now, Charles, I've seen a few of our friends walking down the street this morning. I guess they're doing their little cooting, perhaps?
I think I need to start doing what I used to do in high school. I volunteered at the Humane Society. I'm going to try and find out some information on that. That'll be a good interest for me to do on Saturday. Normally just stay home and watch football, but I need something to do, and I'm going to volunteer with that as well.
So you're going to take Charlie with you? No?
No. Charlie's not a friendly person when it comes down, when our kids go.
What's coming up in sports?
Well, coming up in sports, it's all about the World Junior Championships this week. We're talking about that. Then there was a big game in the Bahamas Government Departmental Basketball Association last night. We'll also have that coming up in sports.
That story and more ahead in sports.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Hey, what you saying?
Right here, man. Oh, not the cool one.
Busted! Don't you know you guys are breaking the law by not using your seat belts?
Man, Charlie, man, I'm using my seatbelt.
The seatbelt is not for opening your alcoholic drink. It is for saving lives. And by the way, for those of you who continue to drink and drive, we're on the lookout for you too.
A pleasant good morning once again. Competition winding down for Team Bahamas at the Youth Olympics in Argentina. Adrian Curry just missing out on the medal at the Youth Olympic Games yesterday, finishing 4th in the stage of the 100 meters. His time 10.64 seconds off his personal best of 10.34. Matthew Thompson will have a crack at it today in the final event for Team Bahamas when he goes at 2:40 in stage 2, heat 1, lane 7 of the 400 hurdles. One day to go to the start of the World Junior Judo Championships in the Imperial Ballroom of the Atlantis Resort. Tuesday, many of the athletes were going through workouts. The best of the best are here. 79 countries, over 450 athletes, male and female. First time the Bahamas is hosting an event of this magnitude. These athletes, no slouch. The best of the best, like I say, are here. And Daniel Lacus is sports director for the International Judo Federation.
A few of these athletes are already world champions. We have in 48 kilograms the untitled champion from Ukraine, Bilodit, which is here present. We have a lot of athletes which are fighting already in the qualification for the Olympic Games in 2020. But for sure we will see from these athletes after 2020, in 2024, medalists in the Olympic Games and the World Championships before. We have 4 days of individual competition and we have 1 day of team event. So in the individual competition we have every day 2 male and 2 female weight classes, and in the last day we have the team competition. We have a draw. The best athletes in every weight class will be seeded. So we make sure that in one pool we don't have all 3-4 good people. So we make sure that the top 8 people are seeded away from each other, and the same for the teams.
Now the ball jumped in game one of the Government League Basketball Best of 5 Championships last night over at the AF Ali Gym. Olivia's Guesthouse Cyborgs jumping out to as many as 19 points, only to see the Gladstone Road Liquor Panthers roar right back, but not cover the deficit. Georgia Walks 21, Ernest Sanders 20, Eugene Bain 16 points, 40 rebounds, Kadario Pinder with 13, and Jason Corley 11 in a balanced scoring attack for the Cyborgs in the 97-94 hold-off win.
Very well prepared, very well coached. They're young, they're hungry, and they've been here before. I mean, they lost the first 2 series, first game in the first 2 series and came back. You know, I was kind of disappointed in the way we shot the ball from the free throw line tonight, especially when you take into consideration senior players that we have on the team. I mean, errant mistakes right there. All we needed was 1 or 2 of those plays, and the game is just closer because we'd been up at least 12, 14 points late in the game. But they turn over the basketball and allow them to go back and score. Especially in the bonus situation, you have to really protect the basketball and play smart basketball.
Fatigue down the stretch, I think. St. Rachel turned the ball over a couple minutes on the clock, but we all right. My guys, you know, this is their first time to the finals. I get 5 championship rings, me and Kevin, so we are experienced. So we try to, you know, all of them, this is their first time in the championship, except about 2 players here.
Our game 2 is set for tomorrow night. That's going to do it for sports. Thanks for watching.
Was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
In our a final look at what would take you to the tropics. We have a tropical wave just a few hundred miles to the east of the Los Angeles, moving towards the west. Some showers and thunderstorms associated with that beginning to spread over Barbados, and that will continue to move over the lower portion of the Los Angeles today. And then we have this area of low pressure in the Caribbean Sea. That's moving towards the Yucatan Peninsula. It has about a 40% chance of developing, but whether it develops or not, it certainly will be a rainmaker over the next several days. Upper level winds pretty strong in the atmosphere over the Bahamas, and that means we're going to have lots of subsidence, meaning just a few clouds today. And as we go to our forecast, you can see on our satellite picture, just a few clouds, but in the southeast Bahamas, there's a troughing there, creating some showers from Crooked Island all the way down to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Today, partly sunny, breezy and hot, 89 degrees for your high, and tonight, looking at partly cloudy again with a brief shower late in the night, low temperature getting down to 76 degrees. And the extended weather forecast, upper 80s during the daytime, and there are nighttime temperatures. They're going to remain in the mid-80s, but as you can see from our icons, lots of sunshine heading right through the weekend. Ladon?
Thanks so much, Basil. And that does it for the morning edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Once again, I'm Ladon Davis. See you right back here tomorrow morning.